Picture this moment later in life. When you least expect it, love finds you again. Your hair may be grey, your steps slower, but your heart still knows how to hope. Remarrying after 60 can feel like stepping into unknown territory, filled with both excitement and fear. Before you say "I do" again, there are 5 important truths every senior must understand. This love is different, and that is not a weakness, it is one of its greatest strengths. Love after 60 is no longer rushed, dramatic, or driven by illusions. It is calmer, wiser, and rooted in reality. At this stage of life, you are not searching for someone to complete you, you already know who you are. Instead, you are choosing someone who complements your life, respects your journey, and brings peace rather than chaos. When you were younger, love may have been about proving something to family, to society, or even to yourself. It may have been filled with expectations, compromises you didn't fully understand, or sacrifices you weren't ready for. But now, after decades of living, learning, and surviving, you understand what truly matters. You know the value of emotional safety, honest communication, and mutual respect. This clarity transforms the way love feels. Love after 60 is not loud, it is reassuring. It doesn't demand constant excitement, it offers stability. You appreciate simple moments more deeply now, quiet conversations, shared meals, a gentle laugh, or sitting together without needing to speak. These moments carry more meaning than grand gestures ever did. This kind of love understands that life has aches, limitations, and uncertainties, and it accepts them with grace. You are also more confident in setting boundaries. You no longer fear being alone just to avoid loneliness. That means if you choose love again, it's because you genuinely want companionship, not because you need validation. This makes the relationship healthier and more balanced. You respect your partner's independence just as much as your own. Another powerful difference is honesty. There is less pretending and more truth. You are open about your habits, health, emotions, and expectations. There's no pressure to impress, only a desire to be understood. This honesty builds trust, which becomes the foundation of love in later years. Most importantly, this love is patient. It understands that both hearts carry history, joys, losses, and scars. Instead of rushing forward, it moves gently, allowing space for healing and growth. Love after 60 may not look like the movies, but it feels real, safe, and deeply fulfilling. This kind of love doesn't fade with age, it grows stronger because it is built on wisdom, acceptance, and genuine connection. When you choose to remarry after 60, you are not just choosing a person, you are choosing their entire life story, and they are choosing yours. Past baggage comes along, and that is not something to fear, it is something to understand. By this age, no one arrives with a blank slate. There have been marriages, heartbreaks, losses, disappointments, and lessons that shaped who you are today. These experiences are not flaws, they are proof that you have lived. It is natural to worry that the past might interfere with the present. Memories of a late spouse, a painful divorce, or years of emotional struggle may surface from time to time. But the goal is not to erase the past or pretend it never existed. The past deserves respect, not competition. Love after 60 grows strongest when both partners acknowledge where they came from and allow space for those memories without jealousy or resentment. Emotional baggage often shows up as fear of being hurt again, fear of abandonment, or fear of repeating old mistakes. These fears don't mean you are weak, they mean you are human. What matters is how you handle them. Open communication becomes essential. Speaking honestly about your triggers, your insecurities, and your emotional needs helps prevent misunderstandings and builds trust. It's also important to remember that your partner's past taught them valuable lessons too. Their patience, empathy, and emotional depth likely came from experiences that were not always easy, when you see the past as a source of wisdom instead of a burden. Your relationship becomes more compassionate and forgiving. Healing does not happen by rushing love or ignoring old wounds. It happens when both people feel safe enough to be themselves fully and honestly. Some days will require patience, reassurance, and understanding. Other days will remind you how far you've both come. Remarrying after 60 is not about starting life over, it's about continuing it with awareness. When you accept each other's pasts without judgment, you create a relationship grounded in maturity and emotional security. Love in later years is not fragile, it is resilient, precisely because it has survived before, when remarrying after 60. One of the most important truths to face without avoidance or discomfort is money. At this stage of life, financial conversations are not optional, and they are certainly not unromantic. In fact, they are an act of care and respect. Love may bring hearts together, but clarity about finances keeps that love peaceful and protected. By now, both partners usually have established financial realities. There may be pensions, retirement savings, property, debts, medical expenses, or obligations to children and grandchildren. Ignoring these realities does not make them disappear. It only allows confusion and resentment to grow later. Honest conversations early on help prevent misunderstandings that can damage even the strongest emotional bond. Talking about money after 60 is not about control or mistrust. It is about planning wisely for the years ahead. Health needs can change unexpectedly, and financial preparedness becomes a form of security for both partners. Discussing how expenses will be shared, how assets will be managed, and what happens in case of illness or loss creates a sense of stability and mutual responsibility. Some people feel uncomfortable bringing up money because they fear it might hurt the romance. But real love is not fragile. It can handle practical conversations. In fact, these discussions often deepen trust because they show honesty and transparency. When both partners know where they stand financially, they can focus more fully on companionship instead of worry. It is also important to respect independence. Many seniors value the financial autonomy they've built over a lifetime. Remarrying does not mean losing that independence. Clear agreements, whether formal or informal, help both partners feel secure and respected. In some cases, legal or financial advice may be helpful, not because love is lacking, but because foresight is wise. Money issues often affect families as well. Adult children may have concerns about inheritance or financial changes. Addressing these matters openly and fairly can reduce tension and prevent future conflict. While every detail doesn't need to be shared, having a clear plan brings peace of mind to everyone involved. Remarrying after 60 is about creating a future together, not avoiding reality. When money conversations are handled with honesty, kindness, and mutual understanding, they strengthen the relationship rather than weaken it. Financial clarity does not diminish love, it protects it, allowing both partners to move forward with confidence, dignity, and peace when you decide to remarry after 60. One of the most unexpected challenges may not come from within your relationship, but from outside it, especially from family. Adult children, relatives, or even close friends may struggle to accept your decision. Their reactions can range from silence to open resistance, and this can be deeply painful, especially when all you want is understanding and support. Often, their concerns are rooted in fear rather than selfishness. Some fear change, others worry about finances, inheritance, or the memory of a late parent being replaced. In some cases, children are simply not used to seeing their parent as an individual with emotional needs beyond the role of mother or father. These reactions don't necessarily mean they don't love you, they may just be struggling to adjust. It's important to remember that at this stage of life, you have already fulfilled many responsibilities. You raised families, made sacrifices, and lived through hardships. Choosing companionship now is not an act of betrayal or irresponsibility, it is an act of self-respect. While family opinions matter, your happiness cannot be placed on hold. Forever to keep others comfortable. That said, sensitivity and communication go a long way. Calm, honest conversations can ease tension over time. Reassure your family that love is not being replaced, traditions are not being erased. And relationships do not have to be lost. Let them see that this decision brings you peace, stability, and emotional well-being. Sometimes acceptance doesn't come immediately, it comes gradually. It's also wise to set gentle boundaries. You do not need permission to live your life, but you can still choose compassion in how you express that truth. Avoid arguments fueled by guilt or pressure. Stand firm, but kind. Over time, many families soften when they see that the relationship is healthy and respectful. In some cases, full approval may never come, and that can be painful. But approval is not the same as validation. Your worth and right to love do not depend on others agreeing with your choices. You are allowed to seek companionship, laughter, and support in your later years. Remarrying after 60 takes courage, not just to love again, but to stand by that love. When you balance patience with self-respect, family relationships often find a new, healthier understanding. And even when they don't, choosing happiness with dignity is still a choice worth making. As we grow older, the meaning of love quietly changes. And nowhere is this more true than when remarrying after 60, at this stage of life. Companionship often matters far more than passion. While romance and physical attraction still exist, they are no longer the foundation of a lasting relationship. What truly holds two people together is the comfort of having someone by your side. Companionship means waking up knowing there is someone who cares whether you slept well, someone who listens without rushing, and someone who understands your silences as much as your words. It is about sharing everyday life, the small routines, the quiet evenings, the simple joys that once went unnoticed. These moments, though modest, become deeply meaningful because they offer emotional security and peace. After 60, life brings its own challenges. Health concerns may rise, energy levels may change, and independence may slowly shift. In these moments, passion alone cannot provide strength, companionship does. It is the hand that holds yours at a doctor's visit, the patience shown on difficult days, and the reassurance that you are not facing life alone. This kind of love is steady, dependable, and deeply comforting. Companionship also allows both partners to be themselves without pressure. There is no need to impress or compete. You are accepted as you are, your habits, your limitations, and your wisdom. This acceptance creates a bond that feels safe rather than demanding. It replaces excitement with trust and replaces intensity with understanding. Another beauty of companionship is emotional intimacy. Long conversations, shared memories, mutual support, and genuine care build a connection that grows stronger with time, unlike passion, which can rise and fade. Companionship deepens with shared experience. It becomes the glue that holds the relationship together through both joy and hardship. Remarrying after 60 is not about chasing youthful romance. It is about choosing someone who brings calm to your life. Someone who makes ordinary days better simply by being present. In later years, love is not measured by intensity, but by consistency, kindness, and care. In the end, companionship is what turns love into a safe place, and after a lifetime of experiences, that may be the greatest form of love of all.